Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daily Rift number 3. Here I have a great replay for you. That's just about it, but I'll get into that a little bit. How are you guys doing? It is the 17th of March, 2011. I'm doing pretty good. I had a long day yesterday. I had a big old party and jammed my thumb really bad, but I'm doing pretty well. But as I said, here's the replay I was talking about. And as per the first replay, we have Caucasoul playing also, but instead of playing against them, he'll be on the team that we're going to be viewing. But the team comp is Zillion, Galio, Ashe, Kennen, and Shaco. A strong, very strong AoE with some really good support for that carry. A lot of just overall things you're gonna have to go through. I mean, a Galio ult, a Zillion ult, and a Kennen ultimate. It's going to be really hard to get through. It's going to be really hard to get to that Ashe that's going to be really doing the damage in this team. Especially when she's going to have both summoners up in that case, where she'll be able to flash and ghost away. Versus a Corki, Amumu, Misfortune, Renekton, and Taric. Also a very strong team. Lots of tanky DPS there with the Renekton. And to some extent Amumu. Amumu does do a lot of DPS with an Abyssal Scepter and a few other items. Really a strong character, I think, and I think Amumu is totally underrated in the current meta. So another hero I also think is underrated and just totally underplayed is this Galio pick. This Galio pick is such a strong pick in my opinion. Just an overall really good hero, really strong initiation possibilities with just that flash. So, you know, I think it's just a really good. But as we can see, we're going to have a Shaco starting up on red. Going to be boxing it. And, yeah, just a normal jungle path. Going to grab red, then going to go for the first blood with the C, probably in mid. Overall, that's a really solid strategy. In fact, a lot of people refer to it as a guaranteed first blood. It's just really hard to get away from that, especially yeah, it's just insanely hard to get away from that. And we have purple team, I'm sorry folks, I'm gonna have to interrupt myself, trying to come in and stop this team. Shaco's taking a little bit of damage, but they are gonna box bait them, which is really good. And that Taric is taking way too much damage, and so is that Renekton, taking both ignites off of this team. And I don't know exactly what they were thinking. That was not a good move. Although it's going to delay Shaco's red, he's going to have to smite that Wraith and go a little bit of a shorter path. But overall, those two first kills, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, those two first kills are definitely worth it. Definitely the way this game should start, and it's much better than that guaranteed first blood in mid. Actually, probably almost not a guaranteed first blood in mid due to the Corki pick. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying. On the enemy team, we have Corki, Amumu, Misfortune, Renekton, and Taric. Very solid team. Once again, that's a really solid team where you're going to have to go through a lot of stuff to just survive. I mean, to get that carry and shut her down, you're going to have to go through an Amumu ult, a little bit of a Renekton. You also have Corki that can has essentially a double flash away, and then you have also a Taric that's going to be supporting that carry. So there's a lot of things you're gonna have to go through, and that's really what comes down to games in this, is how good your supports are and how good your carry is protected. Yeah, overall, oh, and that Misfortune taking a lot of damage. That's the power of this lane. You have a hero that can harass basically just forever due to the ability of energy. Not the ability of energy, but due to the replaced mana bar with energy. And then you have Galio, who has insane ranges on both of his abilities. That just makes him an overall great harasser. Corki and Ashe lane. Ashe had this lane until about level 6 in my opinion. This is due to the fact that Corki does get his missiles at that point, and if this Corki is playing competently and is not missing skill shots, he will really harass that Ashe out of the lane. Will harass that Ashe out of the lane very quickly. I completely forgot to mention, but this replay is brought to you by CLGaming.net, and it is uploaded by imaqtpie, who we saw in the ESL. Oh, and a great gank on top. Corky did go MIA from mid. No one did call that. And will Zilean go down? There is the stun. There is the ignite. And maybe, yes, there's no way that that Zilean could get out of there. And there was no MIA call. Not a lot of communication. I want to say this is a solo queue game. Probably is. But once again, for a solo queue team, there is a lot of great team comp and choices. I'm sorry if the screen is still flashing red. I thought I'd turn that off. However, it's still going on, it seems like. So Kennan's taking a lot of harassment. This is a great actually combination. There is a lot of poke between these two heroes. That stun combined with the shatter does do a lot of damage, and can easily shut down this lane too. So there's a lot of harassment, and there's a really strong lane from both of these heroes. This hero has a quick little ghost on demand, if you will, and this hero has a speed up combined with a slow. And after he reaches a certain point, we'll be able to clear these 3 minions. We'll be able to clear those 3 caster minions in the back with just the ability, with just the use of 2 spells. I need to calm down and talk coherently, because that would certainly help. So the score is currently 2-1 at 5 minutes in. Mumu is juggling on the other team, going with Ninja Tabi first. So what you'd probably expect to see out of that rune book is dodge, which is interesting. It may make sense. I'm not entirely sure how to jungle a Mumu. That's one of the heroes that I don't play that often. I do play lane a Mumu as opposed to jungle a Mumu. But the only reason I would say that is a little weird is because Tantrum does get its cooldown reduced by being hit by something. Oh, Caucasoul's going to take a lot of harassment up here. And there might be even a little bit of initiation down on bottom. PewDiePie is going to take a lot of damage. I'm not going to be able to see if I can keep up with this. Shaco's down to low health. I don't know. That might be the replay bugging out, though. Renekton might be going down, folks. Amumu's going to come in, and that might be Shaco going down there. I don't know. Oh, no. Shaco is going to get the Renekton kill and going to go down to tears. Despair from Amumu. Wow. That was a great little play. However, it does not matter because that Amumu is not going to let him get away. Overall, lots of, here we go, as I was talking about, level 6 is just come about, ladies and gentlemen, and we are seeing this poke from Corky and from Ash really going to make and break this lane, although Corky does have much more readily available poke and much cheaper poke, so we will probably see him taking this lane very easily later on. Let's talk about items real quick, because that's always good. What's so interesting about this current meta is it seems to be revolving around really strong lanes, lanes that have a lot of regen and keep being able to keep themselves alive. But PewDiePie is going to be stunned, going to flash away from it, because if he did not, he probably would have died. That was the thing I was going to get to. I thought he was going to go down, but he's just going to say nope and flash away from that, which is totally okay. So yeah. Anyways, ooh, a lot of damage still going down on bottom. Still not going to go down. Caucasoul is not going to get dove, but instead this poor little Renekton's going to take a lot of damage from this tower. I don't know what to really think about that. That's probably a good 400 health gone. But anyways, getting back to items, this meta does seem to be revolving around really strong lanes. And in fact, I would say it kind of revolves around heroes that have a shield or a lot of poke that can sit far back, as in this case Corky or Ash are 2 heroes that would be really good in this meta. But I also think it kind of comes down to regeneration. And as you can see, Rejuvenation Bead is, I think, kind of a common item to see now. You can even see Rejuvenation Pendant or your boots and 3 health bots. And the reason that is, I think so... oh wow, a lot of damage coming down on that Misfortune. And ult is up. Yeah, that ult is going to come into play here. And that... Tarek is not going to survive it. Good play by imaqtpie, leaving just enough mana for that ultimate, and to get that second kill. Kakasol is taking a lot of harassment again, and there is not a lot of health there, ladies and gentlemen. What you see there, he probably has maybe about 500, 600, maybe if he has health runes, about 700 health. That is not a lot. He's really squishy against a hero that has so much damage as his Renekton. But overall, the regeneration will make up for that. There is a lot of regeneration there. Oh yeah, and you can see there, you can even see Kakasol's health. He only has 900. Again, I was wrong. I misjudged it, probably because I couldn't see the level. Yeah, this Renekton is just has so much damage. It's hard to lane against them. Double dash essentially forward into a 2-second stun, and then a long-range harassment Q. It's really hard to lane against. That also heals him, not to mention. So once again, this is also a great example of a strong lane. He has some built-in regeneration from that Q, Call of the Meek, which does give health based on the target's hit around him. And once again, he has a lot of harassment and poke, essentially because he can double dash forward, use his stun, and then walk away. Or he can dash in, stun you, dash out, and not get harassed back. So it's just another great example of a strong lane. Not to mention, he also has an ultimate that gives health and gives a little bit of damage, but that's kind of negligible. I choose to ignore that. I normally look for the extra health. So he can survive a gank because of that, or he can survive an engagement, a team fight. It's just one of those things. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. And once again, Taric is also a great pick because he does offer some regeneration for those carries that aren't that strong. And it looks like this team will be trying to do a gank on top. He is asking for support from Ashe, and there's not going to be a gank down on bottom. Just looking around. But here is the arrow going to go right into Renekton. What's really nice about that, though, is I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he goes into the arrow. And once again, not once again, ladies and gentlemen, we do see that Renekton going down, but I don't know if it was intended. But Renekton did go into the arrow, so he would reduce that. He would reduce that stun duration, which is very important. Although it doesn't really matter because that is a lot of damage, and a great stun coming out from Amumu, but it does not matter because Corki is going to go down. But however, before Corki died, he did get Shaco, and Amumu is going to come up and do the cleanup crew, woo and take out Ashe. Zilean is going to be searching for that Amumu, but he sees him right there walking away, not going to be able to get him. imaqtpie is a little bit out of position here. He's going to take a lot of damage from this misfortune. Might even be going down. No, he's not going to go down. He's going to flash away and walk away with maybe 50 health. But once again, you can really see the regeneration from it. It's partially because of the health bot, but regeneration is just so huge in this, and I think in the lanes in this. I don't know. It makes items like Catalyst just feel even stronger. But overall, I like the direction the game is going in. I really like the most recent patch, and that reminds me, I don't know if this is on the most recent patch, so we don't know if this is a Zilean nerf. However, I do think that made this hero a little bit less ban worthy. He's still a really strong ban, I think, because of the because of the revive, essentially. Although I'm not entirely sure, as I haven't seen any high yellow games recently where he hasn't been banned. So Dragon is going to be initiated upon and going to be started with Team Blue. Let's talk about items real quick. I think this Dragon's going to be pretty much uncontested. As the jungler is up top, which is something always important to note. If you have a jungler down here, and most of your team's up here, go for Baron, because that jungler is going to have to go walk away all up in here. And once again, my cameramanship is bad, and I do miss that kill. Looks like an out of position Taric though, and this Zilean is not going to get away. There's going to come down another stun, and it's just going to be yeah. And that blue buff is going to be given up to either Renekton or Amumu. Oh wow, look at that. He's going to flash and run essentially use his ghost on demand to get away. And he's going to do it again. A lot of damage coming down on imaqtpie, and a lot of damage also coming down off of onto Corki. Oh, and there's the dive there. Caucasoul is out of position. Yeah, he is going to go down. But that tower is going to do so much damage to Renekton. Blue buff is going to be transferred over to Zilean. Yeah, a lot of, score is 10-5 at 14 minutes in. No towers have gone down for either team. Kind of actually a high kill game for a high elo play, in my opinion. Most of the time you don't see this many kills. This might be because it is solo queue though, folks. Just because of that fact, there's a little less communication. Ganks are a little more potent. Just little things like that can really change the game around. Just if you think about it. Fiendish Codex coming down on Galio. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name. On Galio. Oh wow, lots of damage. That Corki with red is so potent, especially after that Mana Moon pickup. That's a lot of sustained damage, and I don't know if this Shaco is thinking thinking in the best way here, because that is a Corki with red buff that is 2 levels higher than him, and that would be a bad idea, a very bad idea. I would not want to engage in that at all. A little bit of harassment with the clone. It's going to go down, probably to another shot. Kennen is going to come in, although Corki probably has something over here warded, because he did act accordingly and just backed up a little. Anyways, talking about items real quick, we have Caucasoul on Zilean with Blasting Wand and Catalyst Protector, so going into Rod of Ages, which is a very solid pickup on Zilean in any caster. Gives that little extra health for that support champion, gives him a little extra AP, giving that revive a little bit better, return, so to speak. Zilean's going to have to ult himself again, so that is not good. And a beautiful Ash Arrow coming in, and that Taric is going to be found out of position and not going to be able to get away from that. That poor Taric is going to, wow, great counter gank. They turned that right around, although Zilean is taking, not Zilean, I'm sorry, Galio is taking a lot of damage. Is going to have to use that flash for not initiation purposes this time, but for, oh, just out of tower range. Poor imaqtpie makes a minor miscalculation and just barely misses it. But once again, we're going to see that Corki with a red buff do a lot of damage to that Kennen. You can see he just barely has enough health. He's going to be trying to be chased down by Amumu, but Amumu is not going to get away. Actually, he is going to get away, but Renekton is going to come in, pop his ultimate, slice in, get a kill, and probably going to hop right out. Actually, he might be stuck in there. Oh, he is stuck in there. That fear did change that fight around, and that red buff, Shaco, did also help change that fight around. Really well done. That was a great exchange there. Once again, really high kill game, 14-8, 22 kills at the 16-minute mark, over a kill per minute. Really well done by both teams so far. Even though purple team is a bit behind, I don't count them essentially out of this game, because all the towers are still up, which means they can always come back from this. There is only one dragon has actually gone to blue team too, so that is also a very important factor. So they're not terribly far behind. Only 6 kills in a dragon that can be easily made up for in a team fight. Easily made up for in an ace or team fight. So I think both teams are still in a relatively I'm sorry, I'm totally drawing a blank right now, folks. At a relatively they're relatively even. Let's say that. There you go. That's what I was looking for. They're still at a relatively even place in the game. Although it's kind of clear to see that this team is a little bit further ahead, and Ken is going to be out of position. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but there looked like a miss stun from Amumu. Trying to get Zilean's attention, it looks like. A lot of pinging coming down. That's kind of obnoxious. Gonna take it anyways. A little bit of taunting, it looks like. But anyways, let's talk about farm and items before I get interrupted again. Ash with Brutalizer, 2 Doran's Blades. Oh, and a huge gank down on the middle. I can't even get a word out. Ash will be okay due to a Zillion ult. That was a good ult. Just on time. Looked like it was perfectly calculated. Knew it was going to happen. However, Shaco is going to go down. But Ken is going to try and clean up. I do not think it's going to happen, though. He is going to get just Corki. That does matter because that is their carry. But he's also going to go down. So it's a 2-for-1 exchange. Once again, they're kind of trying to make that up. Which they did. They got 2 for 1. So it's 10 to 15 now as opposed to 8 to 14, which is a much, I think, closer lead as opposed to 6 kills this time with 5. Yeah. Anyways, back to items. We have a Mumu with a Randuin's Omen, which as first item. I don't know if I really agree with that once again, because that is an item that does, I think, really work well in the later game as when you get some resistances. But he does have Ninja Tabi, so there is a little bit there to support them. But I don't know if you guys are aware of the activatable, but it increases the slow by 0.5 seconds per 100 resistance that you have. So, unless if a movement has a lot of armor runes and MR runes and is 0, 21, and 9, imaqtpie is going to take a lot of damage from that Corki. As you can see, he's really starting to show that strength with the Sheen, probably going into a Triforce Mana Moon build, which is really common. I've seen on Corkis recently. But Amumu is going to come in and initiate just right, making up for that that early game advantage. As we can see, Halfrican's out of position, but 15 to 12, as Purple Team is coming up with some great answers to getting back in this game. However, they did lose Dragon, so I'm not entirely sure if the trade was in their favor. It's a little bit even. However, as I said in my last daily, folks, as you lose a person, it becomes really hard to defend these towers. It's 5 versus 4. And as you know, one of their main gripes about being this high in the LOs, as you lose that as you lose that person, it's either a lost dragon, a lost tower, or they get Baron. So there's a lost tower there. So the advantage has returned to Purple Team in that last fight. So there is a little bit of catching up there, which is always good to see. It's always good to see these fights not too one-sided. And it's always good to see these high elo teams thinking about the later game as opposed to just right now. Sometimes when you get this huge like 7-0 lead in the game, you don't think about what's in the future. You get your stackable item, you're like, okay, I'm set, and then you die 4 times, and that's not necessarily what you should be doing. And top tower is also going to get pushed in. You know, that was just bad playing, I think. You never want to leave an open lane, essentially, and that was an open lane for far too long. For another example, this is also a really open lane. This is easily farmable. This team should be really thinking about it. As you can see, imaqtpie is going to get some, is filling up that missing lane person there. Going to get some solo experience. Going to put him a level behind Ash, which is always good. Doesn't mean it's not good for your carry, obviously, because he's not getting enough farm. 21 minutes, 133 minion kills isn't the best in the world, but keep in mind this Ash does have 4 kills, 2 deaths, and 6 assists. So that's not that bad either. That's actually pretty good for 22 minutes. This looks like Team Blue is going to be setting up for Baron. I'm not entirely sure if this is the best idea, but I do not know if the enemy team knows they're there. No, they do not know they're there, because this Vision Ward is telling me that there is no wards. So this Baron is a free Baron, and this poor Mumu is going to be caught right out of position. He is initiating all wrong right now. He's going to be caught in so much AoE. He's going to return it though and get Galio. 15 to 3. That is exactly the answer they need to come up with. And Renekton's going to come charging in, White Knight style, and to see if they can pull off this Shaco kill, which they are. 15 to 4, folks, with the tower going down on top due to Caucasoul. However, that doesn't really matter because it's 15 to 4. I think 2 kills, losing 2 people with Baron is definitely worth a tower in this situation, especially an outer tower. So, Excuse me, I need to take a drink of water. It's really dry. Tower going down on bottom. So Team Blue is really starting to lose out on towers here. I think it's really starting to catch up in terms of dragons and barons here. Well, I think actually both teams are at a relatively even spot now, and I said that before, but I think they're even more at an even spot as they were earlier. I mean, you have Renekton at 4 and 5, Amumu at 4 and 0, which is kind of off. You should probably see that. I would probably expect to see more kills on Misfortune instead of just one, but she only has 1 death, so that's good. However, this Taric is way out of position in their jungle. Not entirely sure what he was doing. Gonna get ganked, and the score is now 16-4 at 24 minutes in. Once again, this is a very high kill game for such a high yellow group, but that's okay. Once again, items. We have Misfortune going AP with Archangel Staff. Ooh, that is an awkward item to start with. I do not like that at all. I would much rather see a Death Cap. I just don't know how I feel about that. That is very awkward. And Ionian Boots of Lucidity. If I were going to go AP on Misfortune, I would also grab a Sork Boot. I would also grab Sork Boots. But bottom tower is probably going to go down due to the sheer amount of pushing power from this clone and Shaco. Kennen, as per what he said in the beginning of the game, said he is going to be building tanky. Oh, Corki out of position there. Mumu's gonna bandage toss in and find the 2 squishiest people that he wants to find alone. However, nothing's gonna really come out of it. Both teams are looking like they don't know what to do. However, Team Blue is certain that they want to be this Kennen, not so much, it looks like, though. Missing the bandage toss and is going to be fine. Alright. So anyways, Archangel Staff on this Misfortune, right? And then going into Needlessly Large Rods. We're probably going to see that Death Cap pick up. There's a lot of AP between those 2 items, the Archangel Staff and Needlessly Large, not Needlessly Large Rod. I'm sorry, Death Cap. However, something to note there, she has really no health and almost no survivability. So I don't know how to feel about that once again. You have Renekton going Sunfire Cape and Brutalizer and Ionian Boots of Lucidity and Negatron Cloak. Good items. This is a very magical team if you think about it. You have Shaco, you have Galio, you have Kennen, Zillion too. Zillion's going to be way out of position here. I would say that's actually preemptively ulting yourself. That was probably a bad move. Is probably going to, it does suicide at just the last second. Is going to get out of there too, probably. I'm not so sure about Cutie Pie. Renekton is going to go down. Lots of damage coming from that Ashe with an Infinity Edge at 26 minutes in Brutalizer. Oh, look at that beautiful ult by the AP Misfortune. It's just nice to see. That was a little bit of damage, not so much. That Misfortune might actually be caught out of position, which is a beautiful volley coming from African. Wow, that was really good. Great mop-up, great cleanup. The score is now 19-14. African's a little bit taking a little bit too much damage, I would think, but the Adorn's Blades and the amount of damage that she is doing is making up for that because of the lifesteal. So, good initiation on Corki. However, Merc Treads are going to say hello. He's going to get a little bit of reduction there. Get out of there. Good job. Alright, back to items. Spirit Visage. I actually would rush a Aegis on Taric first, but that's my opinion. Spirit Visage for the extra heal, obviously, and regeneration from the ultimate. And, can't see because the recall bar. Merc Treads, Chalice, a little awkward. And then obviously going to go into Aegis with these Cloth Armor and Ruby Crystal. Looks like blue team is going to gear up for Dragon. But Zillion with Death Cap. So he did not go into Rod of Ages first. Instead went to Death Cap, which is very fine on the support champion. Does allow him to do plenty of damage, and does save up for that revive that gives just as much health as the carry might need due to the huge ratio to it. And this Ashe is going to be saved due to Forever Stun, apparently, from Kennen. just locking down everyone. And did look like Team Blue did get Dragon, as Shaco did finish it up, smite it, and then hop out. We do see Wriggle's Boots of Mobility and Madred's Blood Razor coming down on him, which is a lot of damage. Although I don't really see a really too health stacking team here. Your biggest target might be one of these two people, but he does have a Negatron Cloak kind of negating that. But overall, it's a solid item set on Shaco. Probably going to go to a Bloodthirster, which I don't like because there's not a lot of survivability there. Could probably actually go Banshee's Veil right about here. It's all good. Baron is going to be coming up. Great timing sense by Shaco. He does have it down to just right. Probably will be spawning as soon as they get there, not just a few, maybe a minute off. Anyways, Randy wins Banshee's Veil, Ninja Tab on Mumu. There's the resistances we were talking about. Let's see if I can get actually a quick view of them. Oh, I can't click on them fast enough. Darn. Corky with Sheen, Banshee's Veil, Manamoon. Here we go. 188 and 99. That's actually really good. You're going to talk about maybe a couple seconds silence, not silence, slow. Maybe almost 3 seconds even. That's really solid. Ooh, Renekton's way out of position. So is his team. Tarek is not going to be able to give... Oh, there is a safe heal from Q. Clutch heal from Q. Cole of the Meek and Renekton... not Renekton's. Tarek's heal. So... Wow. I thought he was going to go down. That was very close. African poking around with the volley. But anyways, let's go back to African's items. We have Berserker's Greaves, which I've started to see more on some carries. I like to even go on it with Olaf. Just because if you kind of get CC'd with Ashe, you're almost already dead, if you think about it. So, I'm going to keep taking a lot of damage there, though. It's kind of scary.